On January 1st of this year, we made a major announcement when we added Porsche as our newest partner. The first car we added to the sim was the Porsche 911 GT3 Cup, and at the same time we announced that we would be adding several more Porsches in the future. For the next Porsche, we wanted something special, something unique, something that hasn't been seen in a racing sim before, and something definitively Porsche. Today, that Porsche is here. So here we are in northern New Hampshire where we found the perfect diesel Porsche. It's a model P133 and we're super excited to be able to scan it today. That should take us about 8 hours or so. After that, we'll do photo reference and sound recording. Then we're back to the office to build this sucker. When we're done with this project, we'll have the most authentic tractor ever built. Take that, farming simulator. It'll take some time and a lot of company resources, but we can definitely say this Porsche will be ready to launch sometime in the future.
Welcome racing fans to the Cowboy 150 presented by the NMNTS Racing Series and SimSpec PC Towers. We're here in Fort Worth, Texas for one heck of a race on hand tonight. We're at the famed Texas Motor Speedway for 100 laps in the NMNTS ARCA Series cars, which if you don't know what that is, these are the iRacing K&N cars. So they're based pretty much on the old NASCAR Cup Series cars from about the 1980s to about 2007 that they were used. Excuse me. And we already crowned a champion last week. That was Terry Mason. He's already clinched the championship. But tonight we're formally recognizing that with this 150-mile race here in Texas, here at Texas Motor Speedway, rather. And tell you what, it's going to be a heck of a show. Should be a fun show tonight. I do have a couple of guest commentators with me tonight. They're not here just yet. We'll bring them in a minute. They will be SimSpec PC Towers drivers, Mike Bruno and Tyler Justice. They're normally in the number 7 and the number 19, but tonight they'll be joining me up here in the booth. So, as always, very glad to have them up with me. Just as with anyone who decides to come up and help me up in the booth, it's very appreciated. It's kind of a hard thing to do alone, so it's very nice to have them joining me. And we're gonna go back to a couple commercial breaks while these guys go through their drivers meeting, and we'll be right back.
On January 1st of this year, we made a major announcement when we added Porsche as our newest partner. The first car we added to the sim was the Porsche 911 GT3 Cup, and at the same time we announced that we would be adding several more Porsches in the future. For the next Porsche, we wanted something special, something unique, something that hasn't been seen in a racing sim before, and something definitively Porsche. Today, that Porsche is here. So here we are in northern New Hampshire where we found the perfect diesel Porsche. It's a model P133 and we're super excited to be able to scan it today. That should take us about 8 hours or so. After that, we'll do photo reference and sound recording. Then we're back to the office to build this sucker. When we're done with this project, we'll have the most authentic tractor ever built. Take that, farming simulator. It'll take some time and a lot of company resources, but we can definitely say this Porsche will be ready to launch sometime in the future.
In this cauldron of fiery wills and burning competition, rivalries heat up quicker. This is an oval of stolen victories and crushed dreams, filled with volumes of unfinished business. Sooner or later, you all become rivals. With everyone fighting over one finish line, there's never enough glory to go around.
Welcome back, race fans, to the Cowboy 150 here, presented by SimSpec PC Towers and NMNTS Racing Series. I'm joined here tonight by Mike Bruno and Tyler Justice, a couple of SimSpec drivers.
All right.
And guys, if you could help me out, kind of explain the SimSpec sponsorship deal for you guys, that'd be appreciated.
Yeah, sure. I'll go first. Yeah, we were approached by a guy we raced with, Ken Younce, John Bear, and they asked us if they wanted them to help us out and, put their name on the car. And we did that for them, trying to get their name out there and trying to do whatever we can to help them out and as much as they help us.
Yeah, like Mike said, just doing whatever we can to help them out. We're glad that they wanted to come on board and sponsor us. So it's been real fun, been able to get some good finishes for them, and hopefully cap the season off with a championship for them.
Yeah, for sure. Tyler and Mike, you guys are both in contention for at least one of the two championships the next two nights. Tonight's already locked up, and Terry Mason is your champion. You'll see the point standings scroll across your screen if you're watching with us tonight. And again, Terry Mason locked the championship up in this ARCA series last week at South Boston. But that doesn't mean there aren't positions up for grabs. And then also, we'll be broadcasting tomorrow night and Tuesday night, and that's where Mike and Tyler will be able to shine. And you guys are both in contention for the Truck Series Championship, and then Tyler, I believe you're the only one in contention between the two of you for the Xfinity or the Grand National Championship on Tuesday at Homestead. So, tell me a little bit about you guys' plans for the weekend.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be a heck of a race. Hopefully we can stay out of trouble and get some championships here. Hopefully both of us can get one, but just gonna come down to keeping your nose clean, keeping it out front, and hopefully not getting caught up in a caution. And I know there's gonna be a few cautions and deciding when to pit and when not to pit, so that's gonna be pretty tough. But hopefully we can just stay out of trouble and minimize mistakes, and we'll have a shot at it at the end and hopefully pull it off.
Yeah, for sure. Like Tyler said, as long as one of us gets either one, I'm happy with that. Like you said, I'm not in contention for the Xfinity Series anymore. I'm kind of bummed about that, but definitely gonna give it my all for the truck, and hopefully one of us gets it. If not, it was a great season either way, and I was happy to run in this series all season, and hopefully come back again next year just as strong.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, you guys have been kind of the class of the field for at least the better part of the season, if not the whole season, and it's been a lot of fun racing with you guys and your counterparts over there at MR Motorsports, and I'm looking forward to 2018 and what that brings. And aside from that, ain't got a whole lot to talk about tonight. As I mentioned, Terry Mason's already locked this championship up over Jason Alexander and Derek Robinson, and now it's kind of just up to the next three in line to figure out where they're going to fall for the point standings. I guess other than that, another storyline we could mention is the TN Designs Quad Crown. It's kind of flown under the radar, but it's been a competition that's been going since the summer. And basically it started with Darlington in this series back in, I believe, June. And it's basically taking the highest finishing driver based on their average finish over 4 races and giving them some rewards. Currently, Zach Lindgren leading that charge in this series. I'll bring up the stats for that in just a moment, but I believe Tyler, I think you're in contention for him in one of the series. If not, it was Mike. So you guys will have that to look forward to the next 2 nights, along with the championship. So you guys have raced with these guys before. We've all kind of raced with the entirety of the field here, and no one's exactly new. I think the only one who hasn't raced a whole lot would be Cody West, but who's your early pick, just based on qualifying to win this race?
I'll tell you what, I'm not just gonna take the pole sitter as of right now, but I'm gonna go with my buddy, fellow teammate Jared Beasley. He's been looking strong all night, and see if he can take it home.
Yeah, Mike, I'm looking at Bradley. I mean, he's really been coming on strong here in the last couple of weeks. I mean, he's definitely picked up some pace with his racing, so he's definitely been practicing a lot, but just had some tough luck finishing some races, but I believe he might be able to pull one off tonight, so Bradley's my pick for tonight.
And if I was to have to pick a driver for tonight's Cowboy 150 here in Texas, I think it would probably be Zach Lindgren. He's certainly got a strong piece under him. Currently 3rd place in qualifying, and he's actually got a very nice paint scheme that I believe Mike and I will both appreciate. Hopefully, Tyler, you can find a soft spot for it too. It's going to be based on the 2000 Dale Jr. paint scheme, but Zach Lindgren, like I mentioned, currently in the position to take the Team Designs Quad Crown in the ARCA series and take some good prizes along with that. And he won back at Darlington, which might not sound like it's even close to Texas, but in the way that it's going to be pretty much a one groove race tonight and won't be a whole lot of ways to pass, I guess there's a couple of similarities. And to the point of the weather here tonight, it's very, very cloudy, very cold here in Texas. And,
Oh, yeah.
you know, it's going to be, like I said, a one-groove racetrack, going to be hard to pass. So, you know, I guess, how would you guys approach this if you were in their position?
As always, I think you got to save tires. I know a lot of guys are just going to want to go out there and flat foot it, you know, because you pretty much can for the first 10, 15 laps, but it is going to get tight. After 12, 15 laps, you're going to feel that thing starting to push on corner entry, and the guys that actually back it up early are going to be the ones that are going to be able to make their way to the front, as long as they get a green, long run there, long green flag run.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Mike there. You definitely, I mean, it's tempting to go full throttle when you have a real grippy racetrack like this, but the tires do wear off the more you drive it. So you definitely got to save your tires. And with my experiences on driving tracks like this where it's wide open in the beginning of the runs, it doesn't slowly get tight. It'll just come tight out of nowhere and you'll be heading for the wall and there's nothing you can do. So
Yep.
just got to be real careful and save your tires and make sure you have enough for a long green flag run. And I think that'd be the main key tonight.
For sure. Well, I'm going to bring in your teammate, Jared Beasley, as we'll speak with him as he is the pole sitter here tonight. I'll move him up in just a moment and kind of let you guys take the reins on the interview since you guys kind of know each other. All right, so Jared Beasley's up here. I'll let you guys just go ahead.
All right, Jared. Tonight we're just wondering, you know, what are you looking for in your car and how you're planning on this race going out here and what you're going to try to do to keep yourself up front. Looks like you're going to have the pole position here, so congrats on the pole. Just what are you planning on doing tonight and how to keep it up front?
Yeah, appreciate it on the pole award, but just gonna try to take it pretty easy at first. Just run my line. Just try to get a little bit of a gap on, and just hopefully just ride it out the rest of the way.
I got a quick question for you, Jared. Do you think tires are going to be key here tonight? You think you're going to back it off a little bit, or are you just going to go kind of full bore from the get-go?
The first couple laps I'll probably go full bore. But after that I'll try to save some tires. Just try to get spread out at first. But tires are going to be a big factor in this race. They are really good for the first couple of laps, first 10 maybe, and then they just start to get really tight. So I think tires are going to come into play also.
Well, nice job on the pole, brother. Good luck, man.
All right, appreciate it.
And real quick, Jared, just want to ask you kind of what's your plan of attack? I know Mike just asked you about tires, but kind of what's your plan of attack? Kind of maybe away from the tires, more to the side of fuel strategy here tonight. Heard some rumblings that maybe it's a one-stop race, maybe a quick one-stop and then a two-tire stop race after that. So just kind of what's your plan if this thing goes green and we don't get cautions to try and win this thing?
We it's possible that we do not have a caution. If so, got a good crew down there in the pits. I believe we can change tires and fuel real quick. Also, we'll like I said, tires are gonna be a big deal. Probably no two tire stops today. Probably all for it, especially if this thing goes full green. Do 4 tires and some fuel. Get her on, try to keep it up front.
For sure. Well, I'm gonna let you get down there with your team and get prepped for tonight's 150-mile race, and gotta bring in champion, currently clinched champion Terry Mason. Terry Mason's is Andrew the booth. Do you have a copy?
Loud and clear. How you doing, Andrew?
Well, Terry, we just got done talking with pole sitter Jared Beasley, and then we go to you, and I don't even see you in the top 20, actually. There you are, 15th.
15th.
15th. I just couldn't see it first. So 15th, not necessarily the qualifying round maybe you're looking for, but I think that's kind of put out the window considering you've already clinched the championship here in 2017 in the ARCA series, and kind of don't really have to run too hard. So I guess what's your plan of attack for these next 100 laps?
We're just here to have some fun tonight. Just ride around and, Whatever happens, happens. Hopefully, bring the car home in one piece this week.
Yeah, for sure. After last week, if you didn't watch last week's broadcast, right away lap 1, Terry Mason got hit from behind and got put up into the wall, kind of hindered his race, but he came back after being 30-some laps down and ended up finishing 9th, so, not too bad of a comeback. Maybe he was even higher. I think maybe might have been 7th place. But either way, one heck of a comeback for you, and now you got 100 laps
Thank you.
all over again, close the season out, solidify your name as the champion. You've already clinched it, but, just want to get it in stone.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to the end of this race. That way, it's finally official.
Alrighty, well, Terry, I'll let you go and kind of just sit back for this race. Seems like you've got it on lock, and we'll let you do this thing, and hopefully we get to talk to you later.
All right, look forward to talking to you guys later.
Good luck here.
And that was currently clinched champion Terry Mason in the NMNTS Disabled Military Veterans ARCA Series. And now that we got him talked to, we're going to bring in TN Design's Quad Crown leader, Zach Lindgren. Zach Lindgren, this is Andrew in the booth. You have a copy?
Yes, sir, I do. Go ahead.
Well, Zach, you're actually currently leading a battle that's kind of flown under the radar lately. The TN Designs Quad Crown been going since June and haven't really talked about it much, be it on No Brakes TV prior to us picking up the series or even PSI TV, but I want to bring some attention to it as currently you are leading the charge coming into Texas tonight. You've got a 5.3 position lead over Gordon Larson Jr. You've got an average finish so far in the previous 3 races at Darlington, Five Flags, and Bristol of 3rd. So that's certainly pretty good. And I'll tell you what, you're already starting off pretty good, qualifying right there at 3rd place. And, is that in the back of your mind tonight for these 100 laps?
Yeah, every little points battle that you ever have is going to be at the back of your mind. But tonight is just going to be focusing on racing smart, racing hard. It's going to be a 1-lane, 1-groove track tonight. So it's pretty much going to be focused on how I'm going to hit my line, how I'm going to edge out some of these guys, how I'm going to get a little bit more speed over them. But absolutely, it's going to be at the back of my mind. But we're going to be focusing more on the race more than anything tonight.
For sure. I mean, you're starting 3rd place, like I mentioned. You're only a 10th off of the pole, so obviously very close lap times. And, I think you're just going to probably attack this thing as any other race, I'd assume. So we'll be looking forward to watching your race here tonight in the number 85. Mike, Tyler, you guys got any questions for him?
Yeah, I got a question, Zach. You're sitting 3rd in qualifying here, not but maybe a little less than a 10th off the lead from Jared getting the pole. When this race gets going, are you planning on charging to the front and trying to get that lead from him, or are you going to kind of ride it out and save tires and sit back and see what happens?
I don't really have too much experience on saving tires. I mean, I guess I can fall back a little bit, save a little bit of tire. But Jared's quick when it comes to these kind of races. Jared is extremely fast. So if I lose a lot of time to him and save a little bit of tire and try to catch back up, he could be so far out that I wouldn't be able to catch him. So the first few laps, we're just going to settle in, see how everything's going so far. If we stay green, I'm going to try to start pushing a little bit harder. Bradley's going to be hard to get around too tonight. Same thing with Jared. So we're just going to have to see what happens when the beginning of the race starts and where we fall in. We're just really going to have to see how Jared takes off tonight.
10-4, gotcha. Well, good luck tonight, starting 3rd. Let's see if you can get a win here and maybe talk to you later in the race.
All right, cool. Thank you, guys.
Good luck, Zach.
Thank you, sir.
And again, that was Zach Lindgren starting 3rd here tonight for the Cowboy 150 and currently leading the Quad Crown charge for this series. Real quick, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. I got to do a thing real quick. So I'll be right back, and we're just going to throw it to commercial while we await these guys to roll the session over. So we'll be right back in a minute.
On January 1st of this year, we made a major announcement when we added Porsche as our newest partner. The first car we added to the sim was the Porsche 911 GT3 Cup, and at the same time we announced that we would be adding several more Porsches in the future. For the next Porsche, we wanted something special, something unique, something that hasn't been seen in a racing sim before, and something definitively Porsche. Today, that Porsche is here. So here we are in northern New Hampshire where we found the perfect diesel Porsche. It's a model P133 and we're super excited to be able to scan it today. That should take us about 8 hours or so. After that, we'll do photo reference and sound recording. Then we're back to the office to build this sucker. When we're done with this project, we'll have the most authentic tractor ever built. Take that, farming simulator. It'll take some time and a lot of company resources, but we can definitely say this Porsche will be ready to launch sometime in the future.
In this cauldron of fiery wills and burning competition, rivalries heat up quicker. This is an oval of stolen victories and crushed dreams, filled with volumes of unfinished business. Sooner or later, you all become rivals. With everyone fighting over one finish line, there's never enough glory to go around.
And the engines have roared to life here for the Cowboy 150, and once again got Tyler Justice and Mike Bruno in the booth helping me out tonight, so we're going to get a camera angle on hand, get ready for tonight's event. Tyler, I know you picked Bradley Wilson, so we'll be seeing how that works out. I personally picked Zach Lindgren to win this thing, and Mike picked Jared Beasley on pole, so this should be an interesting one. Tyler, any pre-race thoughts here?
Yeah, it's just going to be real interesting to see what some of these guys do tire-wise, just to see if they're going to save or if they're going to really push it. I know it's real tempting to push it and get every position you can, but especially on these restarts, because you know you can get a lot of positions on the restarts, and then once you go green, it's kind of hard to get those positions. So it's going to be interesting to see who pushes, who doesn't, and we'll definitely see who has the better car on the longer runs, who is saving their tires, you know, and I mean, it's going to be a fun race, just going to be an interesting one.
I agree. Got a lot of different personalities in here, and a lot of guys like to just go get it right off the gate, but I think that's going to bite them in the long run, so we'll see how it goes.
For sure. Well, real quick, we're going to roll through the top 20 here on the grid. Up first on pole, we have Jared Beasley in the 114 JB Paints Chevrolet. In second place, that's going to be Bradley Wilson in the number 66. Third is Zach Lindgren in the number 85. And fourth, in row number 2, is Blake Stallone in the number 11. In fifth position is Spence Thompson in the number 89. In sixth, to his outside, is going to be Jason Alexander in the number 5. In the seventh position, on the inside of row number 4, is Cody West. On the outside of him, in P number 8, is going to be Michael Redding. In ninth position is going to be Gordon Larson Jr., and in 10th is going to be Billy Hargrove.
In 11th position, we got Jason Burgess, and in 12th, we got DJ Hargrove starting in 12th position. David Heiza is in 13th. Derek Robinson got him a qualifying position of 14th, and Terry Mason rounds out the top 15.
In 16th position is going to be Robbie Buckner, though I do believe he's gone to the rear. John Barron will line up in 17th position with Kenneth Yaunce to his outside in 18th. And then Corey Walters and Craig Lerman will make up the back row, and we're about to go green, boys. Coming out of turn 2, the pace car, or turn 4 rather, pace car getting ready to turn into the pits. Jared Beasley up on the throttle, races green. Zach Lindgren trying to get up to his outside, can't move just yet. Now he can move wherever he wants rather. Now that we're past the start-finish line, but Jared Beasley already with a quick advantage over Bradley Wilson to his outside, and Zach Lindgren going to try and that looks like actually let Bradley Wilson into that second position right behind Jared Beasley, and Spence Thompson vying for 4th.
Oh yeah, I think we're going to see that low line be dominant on these restarts. It's kind of the place you want to be. Try and get that good run, that good jump on the start, and clear them guys, get out front, and just kind of take away.
For sure. I mean, being on the low line on the start is going to be key because you're going to have them pressure tires. Definitely going to pull around the bottom there compared to the guys on the outside who have no momentum yet getting up to speed. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if that high line's going to come in at some point in the race. I know you could probably run it while the tires aren't too burnt off, but I think if they can get that to work, they can actually get a nice run off the corner and actually be quicker up there if the groove starts to move up.
Yeah, if the tires start to wear off here, I could definitely see the high line working in here because you're going to start getting real tight coming off the turns, and that's going to require a lot of slow up for people on the low line, so it's going to give a big run off to the people that are trying to work that outside lane.
Yeah, and already Bradley Wilson, Jared Beasley still holding the bottom side. Not going to see these guys move up for a little while, I don't think. I think about lap 10, lap 14 of a run is when they'll start experimenting with different lanes for grip, but definitely just a little bit of practice that I did. It seemed like the bottom was the place to be. It seemed like, these guys could just sit here and pin it around in the corners, not really have to worry about a thing on new tires, but we'll see what the line does. Looks like maybe some guys are getting testy with the outside already.
Yeah, it's going to get real interesting around lap 15, 20 when these things start to tighten up, and guys are going to have to start backing their corners up. We're going to start to see that wall being used a little bit out of 2 and out of 4. People are going to get real tight, and we're going to start seeing some contact happening.
Yeah, these drivers are definitely smart. They know when to move on up to that high lane because they can feel it when they start to burn their tires off. But when they get up there, they're going to be zooming around the top, and that high lane is going to get worked in pretty quick here. But until that happens, he's just going to be riding around the low line, seeing what they can gain on people until their tires start to wear off.
Yeah, it looks like Cody West is already trying it in 3 and 4. See if Spence goes back up in 1 and 2. He was kind of up there that first time by. He's kind of running the middle lane now, kind of dropping it down. Seems to be working for him. Not really pulling any time on the guy in front of him, but it's probably saving him a little bit of tire as to running right on the bottom.
Yeah, definitely look for Spence to be coming on here later in the long run. He's definitely working that middle a little bit, kind of diamond in the corner to save his tires a little bit here, so he might be coming on late here up for the lead.
Yeah, and as you mentioned that, I went to look at Jason Burgess, and he was kind of doing the same thing. Jason Burgess was kind of trying to roll a little bit higher through turn 1, drop down for turn 2, get the late apex, and straighten turn 2 out onto the back straightaway. It'll increase your momentum down the back straightaway just a little bit, get you a better run off into turn 3. So it's certainly a way to go. And as we were talking about Spence Thompson and some others, Zach Lindgren starting to roll back into the picture here for the lead. Bradley Wilson to the inside of Jared Beasley off into turn 1.
It looks like Bradley's going to push up a little bit, but it's going to move Jared up the track, and Bradley's going to take the lead from Jared and clear himself. Now we got a battle for second.
I'm almost wondering if Jared's starting to back it off to save his tires a little bit. We know he was talking about that in his interview earlier. He might be doing the smart thing here and just letting these guys go, burn their stuff up, and if it stays green, he'll be reeling them back in within 10, 15 laps.
Everyone's staying pretty clean here for the most part. I haven't seen too much aggressive driving here, so these guys are wanting to get a good green flag run in here and not have a caution too early.
Yeah, I think that move by Bradley Wilson might have been the most aggressive move we've seen so far in the race. We're only 10 laps in, but when Bradley Wilson made that move for the lead, it looked like maybe there was a little bit of contact. If not, they were very close off in turns 1 and 2. And Jared Beasley fell to third. He's still in this battle, right behind Zach Lindgren.
Yeah, for sure. I know Bradley's as hungry to get a win as any one of us. He's had some tough luck this season. All of us have, but I know he's probably the hungriest one out of all these guys. He wants this win really bad, especially it being the last race of the season.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I can see Bradley's hunger. I mean, he's been fast. That's why I picked him for this race right here. He's always very fast at all these tracks. Just like Mike said, he's had a real tough time closing the deal on some of these things.
Burgess and somebody just got into each other. There's a big wreck.
Yeah, they're wrecking. There's a big junk on the front straightaway. It looks like I can't catch the numbers. Is that the 62 that was spinning? That was the 62. David Heise in the Home Depot Chevrolet junked down the back straightaway. So we'll go back and get a replay on this. Looks like David Heise was falling right behind the number 16 of Michael Redding. And actually, Michael Redding got the apron pushed up into teammate Jason Burgess. And then David Heise kind of did the same thing, ended up collecting Michael Redding and spinning down into the inside wall. And that's probably going to end a few of these guys' nights. Robbie Buckner came in there like a wrecking ball. And he's definitely going to be junked in that Alka-Seltzer number 90.
Yeah, that collected a lot of good guys there. That's tough to see. Hopefully they can get them fixed up and get them back out there and salvage a good finish still.
Yeah, that's just a product of Michael trying to get everything he can out of the car. Kind of turned into the corner a little bit too late, missed his apex, and got on the apron a little too soon, pushed up the track into Jason. But it's tough to see. But like Mike said, hopefully they can get some repairs done and get back on track and get back into contention here.
Yeah, I really feel for Jason Burgess there, man. He seems to always have some tough luck in these things. He was running really good. I think he was in the top 5, if not 6th place, and he always seems to get stuck in these things, man. I just feel for that guy.
And we're not but 12 laps into this race, and looks like everyone is going to come down pit road. Going to be interesting to see if anyone takes 2 tires. I would expect most of them to take 4, but we'll see here.
Yeah, and we watched a couple of different replays on that wreck, and Terry Mason, tell you what, he was very close to getting collected not once but twice down the back straightaway. And Cody West takes 2 tires, going to leave the pits first. Spence Thompson may have done the same. He's going to leave 2nd place. And actually, he might have been beat by Jared Beasley. We'll have to wait and see. But after that, it's going to be Bradley Wilson, Zach Lindgren, and then Blake Falone, it looks like. So Cody West going to take 2 tires and make the gutsy call here to take the early lead.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. If it frees him up a little bit, it might help him out in the longer run, or if it just makes him fall back completely. It's a tough decision, but he definitely gained some track position there, so it helped him. See if he can hold on to it here.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see what happens if we have a little bit of longer run this time with Cody, because normally, this track's got a lot of grip, so I think them 2 tires are going to really kind of equal out to 4 tires here in the beginning of the run because of all the grip on the track. But once the tires start to wear out again, it's going to be really difficult for Cody to maintain his speed, and hopefully maybe he can stay up here, but I think it's going to be difficult to maintain in the longer run on these 2 tires.
Yeah, Tyler, I'd say it's probably going to be about half the distance of the guys behind him that he can go full throttle around this track. Mentioned at the top of the show, these guys can pretty much go wide open for about 10, 12, maybe 14 laps, and then they have to start lifting. And we were just at the cusp of getting to where they had to start backing off the gas and really thinking about how they took the corner. And, I feel like with the lack of left side grip in that number 77, Cody West probably going to be able to go wide open for a couple laps and then have to back off earlier.
Yeah, it's going to be real difficult for him to maintain as much as these guys will on 4 tires to get to that point when they start pushing up to the track. And he's got to be real careful too, because if you push your stuff too early in the run, they getting tight will catch you off guard real quick and you'll be in the wall. So he's got to be careful of that.
Oh yeah, we just saw that with Michael, just trying to get everything he could get. Let's hope that doesn't happen again. Let's hope we get a good long run and hopefully it works out for him.
And I think these guys will be coming to 1 to green this time, and that means they'll start doubling up for the restart. Cody West going to be your leader, Jared Beasley to his outside, Spence Thompson going to fill in 3rd position, Bradley Wilson in 4th, and Zach Lindgren in the 5th position. We are 1 to green. That means these guys are double foul as the pace car lights turn off, going off into turn 1.
Yeah, gonna double them back up here, coming to the green. It's gonna be interesting to see if these guys are a little more aggressive on this restart than they were at the start of the race. Trying to conserve their stuff a little bit at the beginning, make sure they make it through the race. But maybe we'll see a little bit more racing here on the restart to gain some positions by some of these guys. But we'll see.
Yeah, for sure. They know how the cars feel now on these fresh tires, so maybe they'll back it off a little bit or just kind of go for it. We'll see what happens.
And again, want to mention just the fact that this is a very overcast day here in Fort Worth, and that's why it looks kind of gray, and that's going to play into how a long run goes. It means, tires aren't going to get quite as hot, and they'll have probably better tire wear as far as speed goes as the run goes on. But they're coming out of turn 4 this time. Pace car here in just a moment going to make the hard left turn down into pit lane, and we'll be back green. And Cody West already off and away, going to get a huge jump over second place Jared Beasley down the front straightaway, and Spence Thompson going to fill that gap for second place. Bradley Wilson looking for a hole between Spence Thompson and Blake Falone. He's going to find it down to the inside underneath the 114, trying to find third place.
Yeah, it looks like these 3 cars are going to freak. Right here on the bottom and Jared here on the low line on the piece cars. We don't know how important that is.
Yep, Jared's got to try and find his way down on that bottom liner, and these guys are just going to keep walking by him with these fresh tires. I think after tires start to wear out, though, that'll be a better place to be, is a little bit higher, but for right now, he's got to try and duck down in.
And it looks like Blake Falone might be giving him that opportunity. Actually, no, he's going to get to the inside of Jared Beasley. Looked like maybe going off into 1, he was going to back off, but a battle for the lead shaping up between Spence Thompson and Cody West. Spence Thompson getting his nose down to the inside of Cody, and Cody shuts the door down off into turn 3. Spence Thompson going to have to fall back in line, but that's going to bring Bradley Wilson right back into this.
Yeah, I'm not too surprised that these 2 tires are holding on for these first few laps. I think after 10 or 15, we're going to see Cody start to fade a little bit. Spence will start to pull ahead here. He does have Bradley right on his rear, though. Jared close by, too. All these guys are still nose to tail. It's going to be interesting to see what happens.
It's going to be real important for Cody, too, to kind of protect the bottom here, per se, because, I mean, the low line here for these guys on 4 fresh tires is going to be a real advantage pulling themselves around this track. So there goes Spence Thompson to the inside of the 77. Looks like Spence is going to clear him off 2 for the lead. Here comes Bradley Falone.
Oh yeah, he's going to bring a train with him. If he doesn't get down quick, he's going to be stuck out there and probably fall back to at least 5th or 6th place.
Yeah,
Looks like there's a nice opening.
So Spence got to the inside of Cody, moved him out of the way, and now Bradley to the inside of Spence, going to take the lead. Spence Thompson going to fall to second, try and battle with the number 114 of Jared Beasley. Not going to be able to get down in front of him, though. Jared Beasley going to take the line off into turns 1 and 2. Cody West looked like maybe he was going to take it 3 wide, but he'll back off and get in behind Jared Beasley underneath the 89 of Spence Thompson. And now these guys, just changed the lead twice in a lap, and the 2 previous leaders just fell back into 3rd and 4th. And I'll tell you what, they're going to be doing battle, probably slowing themselves down right in front of Blake Falone, and I wouldn't be surprised if the 66 and 114 start to check out.
Yeah, Jared's on the tail bumper of Bradley. Looks like our pulse wants that lead back, and he wants to get back quick.
Yeah, if anybody says Bradley Wilson isn't hungry for a win, they'd be wrong, man. This guy's done everything he can to get back out front. He is not going to make it easy on Jared. Jared's doing everything he can to just try and take that air off the spoiler, get him loose, going to do anything to make him make a mistake, but Bradley's just holding his own, protecting that bottom. I'll tell you another guy that's doing a really good job tonight is Billy Hargrove running the 4th position. It's good to see someone like him running up front and doing a good job tonight.
Yeah, I actually hadn't even noticed Billy creeping up into the top 5. He was able to get by the number 77 of Cody West, and now he's running, like you mentioned, Mike, in that 4th position right behind Spence Thompson and trying to hold that position probably from Blake Falone if Blake Falone's able to mount the charge here. Although Blake Falone going to be followed up by Zach Lindgren here pretty soon. If Zach Lindgren keeps making the moves that he's making, just got by the number 77 of Cody West.
Yeah, it looks like Cody's been stuck on the top here for a while. He'll be glad when he can find him a whole opening here, and looks like he's going to get it.
Yeah, as you guys were saying, those 2 tires were going to work early, but he's starting to pay the price now. Looks like DJ is going to make a pass on the inside here, and as long as he can hold his position in the top 10, I think it would work out for him as far as track position goes. I'm not sure where he was before the pits, but he's got to try and get down bottom and stay there.
Definitely a good idea, though, trying this out early in the race to experiment a little bit for the end of the race. Just depends on if we have a late race caution or something. Maybe someone will take 2 tires for short run to the end, but looks like for the longer run, it's not going to work out too well for Cody, but maybe he can stay inside the top 10.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you there, Tyler. That short run, if we get a 5-lap shootout at the end, I think 2 tires would definitely be the way to go, because he could definitely protect that bottom and get that win if you were out front.
And as we watch from on board, the number 85 of Zach Lindgren currently running in the 6th position right behind Blake Falone will jump up to the lead battle once again. Bradley Wilson still nose to tail with Jared Beasley. Jared Beasley still on the attack, trying to find any way to get around the number 66, but he hasn't found it yet. Moment back there, 5th and 6th, actually. I think Blake Falone just killed the wall out of turn 2 and nearly collected the 85. So we'll take a look back at what happened to Blake Falone real quick. I think he got the wall out of turn 2. We'll have to wait and see, but he definitely almost took the 85 out in the process. I'm not sure what happens. Gets in behind the 20, loses all front downforce, right up into the fence, almost takes out Zach Lindgren. Zach has to go all the way down to the apron almost to try and miss that down the back straightaway, but they'll move on. No harm, no foul, and now Blake Falone trying to work on DJ Hargrove, the son of Billy.
Yeah, it looks like we got about the top 9 cars right here, single file. Cody's just now getting past for the 10th position there. Now we got an 11 car single file line, and it looks like we got a battle for the 8th position.
Yeah, and Blake Falone going to try and find an advantage underneath the 24 of DJ Hargrove. DJ leaving the door open through turns 3 and 4, but Blake not going to be able to make that work as he's going to fall back in behind DJ and back to the 8th position, like you mentioned there, Tyler. It's going to be Corey Walters, and behind him going to be Craig Lerman a little farther back.
Looks like we got the 85 of Zach Lindgren starting to make a charge up. He's getting right on the back bumper of the 20 of Billy Hargrove there. He's about to go on the inside and make the pass, and I'm starting to think he might have been saving a little bit because he's really running some good lap times here.
Yeah, he's not quite running lap times to compete with the leaders. That would be Spence Thompson running the fastest lap times on the track currently. But Zach Lindgren kind of in the same neighborhood at the very least, running faster than everyone behind him currently. Just ran a 28.060, and no one had anything to compete with him behind that. It was all up in the top 3 that they were running fast. So sub 27 lap times in the top 3, then you get to Zach Lindgren in 4th, running the next fastest lap time with a 28.060.
Yeah, we got a group of 3 up here, kind of nose to tail for the lead, but I expect Zach to get on up there and make it a 4-car battle pretty soon here. He was saving his stuff a little bit, I think, and starting to put the pedal to the floor per se here.
Yeah, but he's got a ways to go. He's a second back of 3rd place Spence Thompson, and as Jared Beasley continues to look for anything to either side of Bradley Wilson, preferably the inside. He hasn't found anything yet. Bradley Wilson just kind of leading the charge right now in that BA Graphics Chevrolet, and just kind of pulling these guys along, waiting for the next big moment of the race. We've been green for a while now, about 20 laps almost, as we're on lap 32 of 100, and I'll tell you what, this race starting to shape up. Looks like it's just going to be a matter of follow the leader and kind of capitalize on any kind of mistake that they make.
Yeah, it looks like Jared right here is kind of just biding his own time here behind Bradley, and maybe here soon we'll see him make a move.
Yeah, it is just so hard to pass here without putting a bumper to somebody, and especially with it being a one groove track right now, you don't want to be that first guy to go up high and lose all that time. I mean, it might be working out for you in the long run, but as soon as you go up there, you're just going to watch the guy in front of you kind of walk away.
Yeah, but I tell you what, just went on board with the 114, and through 1 and 2, it sounded like maybe he was a little bit better than Bradley Wilson through the center of the corner there, Mike.
Yeah, for sure. Looks like we got Spence Thompson coming on the inside. He's really starting to push it hard. Might be trying to battle for the lead, going for the lead here soon. They're side by side going down the back. He should be able to clear him going into 3 here.
Yeah, definitely, Mike. Spence is typically known to be a real good driver on the long run. He definitely saves his stuff, and he might be looking to go run down the leader here.
Yeah, for sure. All 3 of these top guys have running really fast lap times. It's kind of got me worried a little bit that they've been burning their stuff up, but I mean, they've got such a gap on the guys behind them. Looks like Spence just got a little tight there, had to back out of it. Jared Beasley made the pass on the inside. But yeah, it's just, oh, and we got a yellow on the track.
And it looks like it may have been the 8. No, he's blinking. I'm not sure who it was. Terry Mason keying the mic up. Yeah, it was back there. Actually, Cody West involved. Stopped on the racetrack on the outside. Not sure what happened. We'll take a look back at it. Cody West was kind of all on his own. Leads me to believe it was up ahead of him.
Looks like Corey Walters was involved too.
Yeah, it looks like DJ Hargrove got in the wall out of 2 and came down into the 12 of Corey Walters there.
Yeah, and I think Cody West was trying to get through it, kind of like Cole Trickle, but couldn't find the hole to get through and ends up pounding into the number 12 really hard. That's going to end both of their nights.
Yeah, that's tough luck for Corey Walters. He's a great racer, man, and he just another one of those guys that seems to always find the wrecks. He just he can always run up front, but he just can't seem to make it through the wrecks.
Yeah, and I actually just went on board for Cody West, was looking to see what he saw, and he really couldn't see the wreck up ahead of him. And that would explain why he came in there full speed. But that was another big wreck. DJ Hargrove just got up into the fence, and he's actually got some pretty heavy damage to both sides of his car. We'll have to wait and see how that affects him and how long he has to wait in the pits to get that all repaired. But pit stops are about to be underway, and everyone's coming in.
Yeah, I would expect everyone to take 4 tires here. We had a decently long run right there. We could tell some of the drivers were starting to have a little trouble, getting a little tight there, so I would expect everyone to take 4 here.
And for sure, it looks like it's going to be four tire stops across the board. Although Craig Lehrman looks like maybe we'll get a couple of spots out of the pits. And Bradley Wilson going to lead the charge out of the pits. Spence Thompson behind him, and then Zach Lindgren in third.
Yeah, it looks like Jared had a slow stop there. He came out 4th after all that.
Bradley Wilson definitely taking control of this race. He's been out front for a number of laps now. Gonna see if he can kind of maintain his position throughout the race and maybe close one off here like he's been unable to unfortunately do in the past, but maybe he'll get her done tonight.
Yeah, for sure. I know it's a hard thing to do with try and stay out front and save your tires at the same time, but it's like we've been saying, as long as he protects that bottom, I think he'll be just fine.
Yeah, and you got Spence here in second right behind him, the king, maybe the king of saving tires. He's definitely, like I said earlier, he's really good at saving tires, and I've had some experiences where he just comes on and later in the run. So Bradley's gonna have to watch out for him and make sure he can defend him.
Yeah, I would definitely say Spence Thompson is the guy to beat on the long run here in the NMNTS Racing Series, but it sounds like we can't just count out Zach Lindgren based on the charge he just made to try and get up to the front. He was actually running the guys down that were battling for the lead. Spence Thompson was running the fastest laps on the track, and then Zach Lindgren started to kind of creep up there since Spence couldn't really go anywhere. He wasn't the leader, so Zach was actually making time on the leaders, just not Spence Thompson. But moving in, and I think he's got a piece under him.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see Zach kind of hang with these guys for the first 4 or 5 laps and then just kind of let off and let them run their tires out, because it will definitely work for him in the long run. I think he's going to be the smart one here and try and save his stuff.
And we haven't really seen much of a shakeup in the front. I think really the biggest mover, actually definitely the biggest mover and the biggest change overall is going to be Craig Lehrman from 20th position currently all the way up into 5th. So definitely a good race going for Craig, running in the monster number 43, like I said, all the way from 20th position up into 5th.
Yeah, Craig's definitely been doing a great job. He's been one of our improvers lately, I would think, because he was part of the NMNTS Grand National Series chase there for a while, so he's definitely had some good runs in him, and you can definitely see the improvement.
Without a doubt, he's been having a great night tonight, and hopefully he can just keep his nose clean and be there at the end. I think he'd have a shot at the win here.
Looks like we're going to be going green this time by. Got them all doubled up, stacked up here for the restart, and let's see what happens here.
And for the restart, we're going to be going to the onboard camera on the number 85 Bob Small Engine Repair Chevrolet of Zach Lindgren. He's kind of in a good spot because we've got 3 teammates up in the front, all staggered on top of each other. It's going to be Bradley Wilson, Spence Thompson, and Zach Lindgren. And it'll be interesting to see exactly what goes on if anyone decides to cut anyone else a break. And Mike, I think you had it perfect. I think Zach's going to kind of take it easy here.
Yeah, like you were saying, here we go, going green. I'd say it's really tough to race around your teammates sometimes. You know, you want to go out and get up front and race hard, but you know you want to cut those guys some slack too. You know, but we'll see what they do here. It looks like Zach's going to kind of push it here and get out in front of Spence and possibly start saving later on.
Looks like Bradley's going to get a jump on the field here going into turn 3. He's put himself on a gap between the second place battle position with Zach and Spence here. Looks like Zach may have position coming off for as he clears him, and Jared follows.
Yeah, let's not forget about Beasley here. He's he kind of got forgotten about with a bad pit stop there, but I'm sure he's wanting to get back up to the front here pretty quick.
Yeah, for sure, Mike. Jared Beasley trying to lead the charge in 3rd position, trying to get up and dismantle this WFO domination so far in this event. I mean, Jared Beasley definitely been in the battle, but so far it's been Bradley Wilson just controlling this race here in Texas. And now Zach Lindgren, there we go, trying to take control from Bradley. I don't know if he's going to be able to do it. I don't think anyone can beat Bradley Wilson in clean air here tonight. Seems like that number 66 is on rails.
Yeah, for sure. He was saying earlier he was feeling a little bit under the weather, Bradley Wilson, that is, but you could have fooled me. And I'll tell you what, the best cure for cold or sickness is getting that W, so let's see if he can pull it off here. Zach's hanging right with him, though. He's definitely not letting him get away.
Yeah, looks like the top 2 have put a little bit of a gap on Jared in 3rd. Then we got Spence falling not far behind in 4th position, and then we got Craig Learman falling close to them.
And as we watch through turns 3 and 4 here, Zach Lindgren still in pursuit of the leader. We'll move back just a little bit. Billy Hargrove, Craig Learman going at it, trying to find a position. And Billy Hargrove kind of just actually following in the line right now, but I guarantee you if he gets up to that number 43, I don't think will even hesitate for a second to try and take that position away. Billy Hargrove, another one of the hungry guys to try and make something happen. You know, I don't think he's ever gotten a win here in the NMNTS, and we call him the old man, and he calls himself the old man, and you know he doesn't always run that great, but certainly putting on a show right now in that Notre Dame Chevrolet. And I think, honestly, if these guys have trouble up ahead of him, he could be in a position for a win before the night's over.
Oh, without a doubt. What better way to cap off a season than with a W? And he's definitely hanging with these top guys, so I think he can get it done. And like you said, if just needs a little bit of help up front, you know, maybe something happened, something fall his way, and he could be right in the thick of things.
Looks like Billy may be saving his tires a little bit here as everyone else is kind of hugging the bottom there. He's running maybe half a lane up, maybe on the seam right there, trying to save a little bit of his tires for the longer run. Looks like Craig's doing kind of the same thing as him. Maybe we'll see them pull up to the leaders here pretty shortly.
Speaking of leaders, we got kind of a battle here. Looks like Zach's trying to go to the outside and make something happen up there. He did have his left front on Bradley's right rear quarter panel. He's going to try and dive to the inside here. Bradley's going to protect. We'll see if he goes up high again, try and make a move here. I kind of like the line he's running. He's going in high and dropping down low, and it's really helping him on corner exit.
Definitely using that arc, and like you said, getting a run down the straightaway. Looks like Bradley's going to give him the outside here if we want it, but it's going to be hard to make that position work on the outside. So Zach's going to have to try to find a way to move him out away from the bottom and try to get a nose on him.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it is definitely a feat in its own to. If you can get around Bradley Wilson, man, you have definitely done something in this league because he is one hard guy to pass. He knows how to protect his line and run his race, and he definitely uses that mirror to his advantage, and you can see it's working right here.
Yeah, and Bradley is not going to let up on the bottom side. There's no way he's going to give you the door down there. Jared Beasley kind of opened the door a little while ago on the previous restart, but Bradley Wilson not going to open that door up at all, and it kind of looks like he's giving just enough room down there for Zach Lindgren to get left front downforce. And as I say that, Bradley actually goes down to the white line, but 3 and 4 at the very least, looks like Bradley's giving Zach just enough room to peek that left front out, get a little bit of downforce to the front end, and keep it planted, but that's about it. It doesn't look like he's giving him any more room. Zach Lindgren going to have to use the top side to his advantage. He's going to go to the outside this time through the front straightaway. Doesn't get anywhere really, but he's going to be on the top side into 1 and 2.
Yeah, it's got to be a tough feeling coming off corner exit with that big of a run and just really not having anywhere to go with it. You know, you gotta kind of just bide your time and hope you can get that inside line at some point or make this top line work. Right now, he's running a really good line, though. He's hanging right on Bradley's bumper, and Bradley's doing everything he can to keep behind him. If he can get that nose in there, that's all he needs is just that inside line, and he'll be able to make the pass.
Yeah, going back.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and going back to Bradley, he is really a hard driver to pass. Maybe like Ryan Newman and the Cup Series per se. I mean, when he's leading a race, he will dog you for the lead. I mean, he knows he's in a good position to win his first race, and that hunger just gets inside of him, and he's really tough to pass for the lead.
Yeah, and as we eclipse halfway here, Tyler, you don't have to agree with that. Bradley Wilson, very hard to pass, kind of like the Ryan Newman of the league, and you know, he doesn't have a win just yet here in the NMNTS at all since we've come to iRacing, but he did pick up some wins back on the console side, but since then been struggling to find a win. And real quick, Michael, let you get your point, and then we're going to go through the field, and you're going to look at everyone else in this race.
Oh, we're good, buddy. I was just gonna say pretty much the same thing you did, man. So let's go on. We're good.
So as we've been covering up here the last few laps, Bradley Wilson, Zach Lindgren going toe-to-toe for the lead, but I don't think much is going to change. Actually, Zach Lindgren trying to make a move. He gets there. We'll have to put that on hold for a minute. Zach Lindgren trying to get to the inside of Bradley Wilson actually lets out, doesn't want to wreck either of those cars. He's going to give Bradley some leniency there. Real quick, though, we're going to have to make this quick through the field. Spence Thompson running 3rd place, just ahead of Jared Beasley in the 4th position. Behind him is going to be the 43 of Craig Lerman, and Tyler, I'll let you take 5th through 10th.
We got Billy Hargrove here, Billy Hargrove in the 20, running 6. Derek Robinson running good in the 818. Kenneth Younce in the 72, running 8th. I'm sorry, I was in the wrong position. Looks like we got Terry Mason in 9th in the 75 car, and round out the top 10, we got Blake Falone in the 11.
And in the 11th position, we're going to have DJ Hargrove in the number 24 Axe Machine with some very significant damage to both sides of the race car, but he's hanging in there for now. If we get a couple more cautions, he might be back in it in that number 24. Moving back to 12th position, we're going to have John Barron in the number 69 Chevrolet. And actually, battle for the lead going on up at the front. Zach Lindgren making the move to the inside of Bradley Wilson, going to make the pass. I think that's the first time anyone's passed him under green, and moved that number 85 up into the lead.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Bradley kind of gave it to him out of 4 there, if he just got really tight, but really nice move by Zach there to finally get the lead. You know, now he's just got to see if he can kind of gap him and pull away.
Yeah, like we were talking about here, when you get into these longer green flag runs and your car starts to push tight, sometimes it'll just get away from you and get tight all out of nowhere. So maybe that's what happened to Bradley and why Zach got by him for the lead.
Yeah, now that Bradley's running 2nd behind the car, it's going to be that car is going to be a totally different animal to be running around this track. It's going to feel totally different. So he's just got to kind of run a few laps, see how it feels, and try and learn a different line to run to get back up front.
And I want to continue with going through the field here. We're up to 12th position with John Barron in the number 69, and now we'll go back to 13th. That's going to be Ronald White in the number 99 Chevrolet. And rounding out your running drivers is going to be Gordon Larson Jr. in the number 07. He's got some significant damage to the left side of the car, but just like DJ Hargrove, just trying to hang in there or get to the end. He's got to win a very similar racetrack to Texas Motor Speedway earlier in the ARCA season in in Charlotte Motor Speedway, so he very well, if we get a late race restart and he's able to fix that damage, he very well could have a chance here, but we'll have to wait and see. And rounding out your top 15 would be Corey Walters, 24 laps behind after getting wrecked in our previous caution.
Yeah, it looks like we got a group of 4 up here at the front. We got Zach in first, Bradley in second, Spence in third, and Jared in fourth. And it looks like they put a little bit of gap on Craig back to fifth here. So we'll see if this 4-car battle at the front starts to get interesting here.
Yeah, I think like we were saying earlier on, the 89 of Spence Thompson and the 114 of Jared might have been saving tires, and it looks like they've caught up to the second place car of Brad Wilson. Zach Lindgren is actually starting to gap the field here, and starting to wonder if he was saving a little bit while running those fast lap times, which that's something that seems to stump me when I'm racing. I don't know how guys can do that, but looks like he's making it work, and he's definitely got a nice gap between him and Bradley right now.
Yeah, and currently, as we watch the onboard from the 114, Zach Lindgren continuing to lead and run the fastest laps on the racetrack. Jared Beasley going to be second place as far as fastest laps go, with Spence Thompson running the third fastest lap times. Those guys only separated by about 1/10 of a second, and Bradley Wilson trying to get back to running fast lap times, but that clean air matters. I think Jared Beasley, Spence Thompson kind of using the draft to their advantage, but still Zach Lindgren going to be running faster because of that clean air, and just running away with this thing, really, kind of just checking out on the 3 behind him as they start to battle.
Yeah, it looks like Zach was saving a little bit there, and maybe he looked at them the lap counter and realized, hey, we're 10 laps past halfway. Maybe we should push it and see if we can get a little bit of gap on the field here and see what kind of car we really have.
Yeah, these guys second, third, and fourth right now are nose to tail. They're not running quite as fast lap times as Zach Lindgren. He's actually steadily gapping them. I kind of think the draft would help them kind of pull back up, but they're kind of having to check out for one another and deal with the car in front of them right now. It's kind of just helping Zach out more and more.
Yeah, I think Bradley Wilson may have run the tires off just a little bit, got the tires hot, and had to lay back a little bit there, Mike, as he fell almost a second behind Zach Lindgren now, and that brought Spence Thompson and Jared Beasley right into the debate for second place, but now they aren't able to go anywhere as they're kind of stuck in the dirty air and trying to find a way around Bradley Wilson, but can't really do anything. As we were just mentioning, Bradley Wilson, a hard guy to pass, and since clean air matters so much and the draft can do so much to your car to hinder you, really seeing that Spence Thompson actually going to be backing off quite a bit. He's actually going to lose now that third position to Jared Beasley, down off into turns 1 and 2. Jared Beasley now into third place.
Yeah, Spence may be starting to feel right here that his tires might be starting to go away. As I say that, he's making a look to the inside on Jared Beasley into turn 3. He's going to roll around the bottom here and see if he can't clear Jared off turn 4. Jared squeezes down to try to keep him below him, but looks like Spence is going to make the pass on turn 4.
Now that we got kind of a few laps here, guys, what do you guys think as far as fuel goes? You think they got enough to make it to the end, or we got one more stop in us? Not too sure how many laps they can run on a tank of fuel here, but that might come into play here pretty soon.
Well, Mike, it sounded like before the race they could run about 50 laps to a tank, and currently they've run about 30. A couple of those were under caution still, so about 28 laps under green, which means here in about 20 more laps we're going to be getting ready for pit stops. I wouldn't be surprised if some guys cut that short, come in early, and make the short pit strategy work to try and get an advantage over the rest of the field. It's obviously a great strategy to go with. We saw it used tonight a little while earlier in the NASCAR Cup Series. Martin Truex Jr., Kevin Harvick made that short pit strategy work for themselves. Martin Truex Jr. at the very least. So I wouldn't be surprised if one of these guys comes in a little while early to try and get those new tires on, that fuel back in the car to try and get an advantage over the rest.
Yeah, talk about short pitting there. That's definitely an option you could go for there, but they're looking to pit in about 20 laps. That'd put them at lap 90, which is 10 laps from the end of this race, and I wouldn't be surprised if someone might try to take 2 tires or maybe even fuel only, since it's such a short run to the finish, if these guys want to drain the fuel tank all the way to the bottom, or we, like you said, Andrew, we might see some people short pit here, so we'll have to see how this works out.
Yeah, I think the sooner the better, to be honest with you, because these guys will be making up a second to 2 seconds a lap on the guys on older tires here.
And Derek
And
Robinson
that'll
just
be
came through the
huge.
pits here. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Mike, but Derek Robinson going to be the first to come down the pits. Doesn't look like there's any damage to that car, so I think it's purely out of strategy to try and get a leg up on the guys ahead of him. I wouldn't see any other reason for him to pit. Actually, caution out on the Speedway. That's going to be John Barron.
And I don't know if Zach Lindgren got into the wall or not. It looks like he's got some pretty heavy right rear damage, but he's showing a little bit of damage on my screen. How about you guys?
Yeah, I'm seeing the same. I don't remember him. I did see a little puff of smoke come out of him in 1 and 2, about 2 laps back, but he was nowhere near the wall. I'm not too sure what happened.
Well, first we're watching John Barron go for a spill down the back straightaway, got the wall, spun down to the inside wall head on. Very hard impact for that number 69, so he's probably going to be done for the night, unfortunately, but we'll check out Zach Lindgren real quick. And he's got some right side damage. We'll have to go back and see exactly what happens to him. Looks like maybe a couple of laps ago was when it happened.
Yeah, it looks like lap 69, just some type of netcode problem in the middle of 1 and 2. Just there was no cars around him. He was right in the middle of the track. It just kind of popped up.
Yeah, it looks like he just entered turn 1 and the car looked like it bottomed out and got a ton of right rear damage, even a little bit of roof damage. So maybe some kind of netcode there, like Mike was saying.
And I think that's going to correct itself because on my screen here, Tyler, we're seeing a bunch of heavy right front damage rather than right rear. So I wouldn't be surprised if that corrects itself.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, Andrew. He's good to go now. I'm showing a 100% good car as they enter pit road here. Let's see what happens.
As these guys come through the pits, we're going to take a quick commercial break and then come back with an interview with your current leader, Zach Lindgren, after pit stops.
In this cauldron of fiery wills and burning competition, rivalries heat up quicker. This is an oval of stolen victories and crushed dreams, filled with volumes of unfinished business. Sooner or later, you all become rivals. With everyone fighting over one finish line, there's never enough glory to go around.
All right, we're back from commercials. We're here with Zach Lindgren, our current leader, even after pit stop. So, Zach, this is Andrew in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you. Go ahead.
Well, Zach, we saw you actually make the pass on Bradley Wilson under green. I think that's the first time we've seen it done all night. Bradley Wilson, going to be, the hardest guy to pass out here probably. He's kind of the Ryan Newman of this league, and we saw that kind of come out and show here these last few runs. But you were able to get by him right there. Tell us how you did it.
Yeah, a few times coming down the backstretch, I had a really good run on him coming out of 2, but he protected the bottom, and I don't blame him for doing it. But I was really watching how he'd get into 3 and how his car would do getting into 3, and each time his car would slide up just a little bit more and more. So I took that kind of into account, let up off the gas just a little bit going into 3, and just kind of settled in. And as soon as the tires had enough of it and let the car go just a little bit too far of what he wanted, that's when I put my nose down in there and forced my way into the bottom line and took it from there.
For sure.
So
well, it's been fun watching you. I think Tyler has a question for you. So, Tyler, I'll let you go ahead now.
Yeah, Zach, looks like we're going to have about 25 laps to go here once we get back going green. When you look at that, is that too early to maybe try to go full bore here from the restart, or would you try to save a little bit to maybe challenge some of these guys, and what do you expect these other guys to do also?
That's a good question. With 25 to go, the tire fall off kind of takes a little while, but as soon as it does, you could really feel it in the car. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to go full bore. I'm going to go full blow in it. And I expect some of these guys behind me to do the same, to try to keep up, and try to stay with me. But I feel like I'm one of the best in this race right now to not save tires, but run fast on old tires. So we're just going to have to see what happens. But with 25 to go, we're going to run full blow.
Okay, well, it looks like we're coming to the green flag here this time by, so we'll let you get back to it and maybe talk to you in victory lane.
All right, cool, guys. Thank you.
And again, that was Zach Lindgren, your current leader of the race. We're going to go on board with his teammate right behind him. That's going to be Spence Thompson. So we'll be watching this from Spence's point of view as Zach leads us to the green flag here. Pace car going to be turning away here in just a moment down the pit lane out of turn 4. And we'll be getting ready to go green. Zach Lindgren already on the gas. Going to get the early jump on the rest of the field as it looks like Jared Beasley not going to be able to compete. Probably going to lose that second spot to Spence Thompson if Spence is able to run that bottom just right. Spence Thompson down to the inside in turns 1 and 2.
It's going to be interesting to see what Bradley Wilson does here, if he gets really aggressive and tries to get back up to the front, or if he's just going to kind of hang back and wait to 10 to go and really push it.
And a battle for the lead. Spence Thompson down to the inside of Zach Lindgren making the move for the lead. Zach Lindgren already lost the lead. Spence Thompson move him to P1.
It's going to be... Whoop, go ahead, Tyler.
Yeah, Spence takes the lead here. We got to be careful to see what Bradley's going to do here. We always talk about how he's been in contention late in these races, but he's got himself in some trouble, so he's got to be careful here and try to reel in these guys.
Yeah, I think being the leader of the race right now is where you want to be. Protect that bottom line with fresh tires, and if it was me, I'd just be going for it. It's kind of all you can do right now. I mean, you can save for a few laps, but you really, really, really got to protect that bottom. Looks like that's what Spence's doing. Zach's going to try and get his nose in there and maybe move him up the track a little bit.
Well, I think the thing going for Zach's favor is going to be that he was able to pass the number 66 of Bradley Wilson just a little while ago for the lead by just kind of waiting waiting for a mistake from Bradley Wilson, and he was able to get to the inside of Brad out of turn 4 one lap and made the pass down the back straightaway. So if he just waits for that same kind of opportunity from Spence Thompson, if it comes, I think he'll be right on top of it and be able to make that pass for the lead and possibly the win.
It's going to be interesting to see here, too. We got 23 laps to go, and seems like that's right on the verge of when the tires start to wear out. So it's going to be interesting to see here what happens with these cars coming to the checker.
Yeah, for sure, Tyler. And don't look now, guys, but we got Craig Lerman, who just went around Jared Beasley for 4th place. I think he's going to be up there battling for the lead pretty soon here.
Yeah, we've kind of got a 5-car train right now with a few more little ways back, actually being led by Ken Yance. We haven't really talked about, but Zach Lindgren already back to the inside of Spence Thompson, making the move for the lead and probably the win if he's able to hold these guys off. Zach trying to work that bottom side through the front straightaway, still on the inside of Spence Thompson down into turn 1, has the help of Bradley Wilson behind him. Gonna try and make that move for the lead. Spence Thompson running high. Zach blinking a little bit down on the inside, and he's gonna draw even out of turn 2 with Spence Thompson.
Yeah, this is where decision making comes into play here for Bradley Wilson. He's kind of hanging behind Zach. You know, you think he'd want that inside line, but it looks like Spence is kind of making that high line work right now. He's hanging right side by side with Zach. We'll see if he can get a run off of 2 and possibly, I don't think he'll clear him, but he might be able to clear him after a few laps.
And Zach is actually going to be able to clear Spence Thompson right there. Bradley looking for the inside on Spence, trying to make a move down off into turn 3. Spence going to protect, but isn't able to keep Bradley from making the move. Bradley Wilson going to take over position number 2 as Spence Thompson's now. He's going to have to defend that position from Craig Lerman. Does it for now, but I think Craig is going to be hungry enough that he's going to be making some moves here as the laps wind down. And this is letting the guys behind them catch up. Ken Yance now in the battle with Blake Falone as well.
Yeah, Spence real glad to drop down in line there and get back to the low line before Craig could get to his inside to sit there in 3rd and try to regain his focus and go back after the guys for the lead.
Yeah, and the last time we broadcast one of these big-time draft-dependent races, Ken Yance was the winner. That was the fun race for the NMNTS Truck Series back at Daytona. Ken Yance ended up winning that thing. Tyler, I know you were in the battle, but Ken ended up taking that thing by storm. winning the race, and now he's coming back into the battle. Going to be 5th place currently as the battle rages on ahead.
Yeah, Kenneth is definitely a really good drafting racer, and it's going to be interesting to see here if he can manage his tires to get up here with these guys.
Looks like we got a battle for the lead going here, guys. We got Bradley on the inside of Zach. They're going to want to get this thing singled out pretty soon here. Spence is going to be right back up to the rear bumper.
Well, I guarantee you they're going to battle for everything they can. Zach Lindgren with some more blinking. Just want to mention real quick, on iRacing, basically blinking or flashing is a term we use to refer to a little bit of lag or a little bit of impurities in the connection. Basically, it just means that one of the driver's connections over the internet isn't quite up to par. You know, it's kind of just one of the things that comes into play here on iRacing. The name iRacing literally pretty much means internet racing, so that's one thing to keep in mind as we watch this battle rage on. We saw Zach Lindgren's car doing some funky stuff there in that Bob's small engine repair Chevrolet. So just want to mention that real quick as the battle goes on. He's currently trying to find a way back around Bradley Wilson. Bradley may have made the pass for the lead as laps wind down. 15 to go here, Mike.
Yeah, still a long way to go, but I can tell both those two guys up front are really hungry for this win, and I've got a feeling like Spence is just kind of hanging in the weeds here, waiting for something to happen, waiting for those two to get together, make a mistake, something like that. But I know all three of these guys really want to get that win, so we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing the intensity ratchet up here, but got to be careful though, because we've seen late in these races where people start to get up on their intensity and battling for the lead and whatnot, getting into the wall, pushing it just a little too hard coming off the corner. So I got to be careful of that, as Zach is searching hard trying to find a way around Bradley.
Looks like he is going to have a little bit of a run off that high side. He's going to get right to Bradley Wilson's bumper here in the middle of 3 and 4. If he can get to that bumper and bump him up the track without wrecking him, I think that's going to be the only way around him, because Bradley's definitely not going to give it up easy.
And while all this is happening, don't look now, but here comes Spence back trying to get around to the outside of Zach. Maybe he can get a run off the corner and start battling with these guys as Zach Lindgren gets a nose on Bradley down the backstretch.
Yeah, Bradley Wilson really held him down there. It's going to hurt Zach, move him all the way back in the 3rd place now. Zach had the run, but blinked out a little bit, and I think Bradley used that to his advantage to get Zach out of the way and hold on to that lead. Now Zach's going to have to try and battle with Spence Thompson and Craig Lerman now, as Spence Thompson goes to work on the number 66 of Bradley Wilson. We continue to watch these guys, and I tell you what, I think Craig Lerman's going to start making some moves here as he figures out how to use the draft in these cars and tries to get a run on the guys ahead of him.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been closing up ever so little every lap here. He's actually getting right to the back bumper, Zach Lindgren now. Looks like we got Spence on the high side of Bradley now. We'll see if he can make that high side work. I don't think it's gonna, but you never know. Bradley could screw up here a little bit, and looks like Spence is gonna make it work. He just really drove it in there high. Bradley's gonna get that nice run on the bottom though, and not gonna be able to clear him.
Yeah, I feel like Spence is in a really good position here. We saw he fell back a little bit, and he kind of regained himself, and it looks like he saved his tires a little bit while Zach and Bradley were battling for the lead. It looks like Spence is going to clear him off of turn 2 for the lead.
And that just opened up the door, Tyler, for everyone else to try and make that top side work. Now it looks like Zach Lindgren is going to try and make the top side work on the outside of Bradley's. Actually, he bobbles off into turn 1. Now Zach's going to fall all the way back into 4th position behind Craig Lerman, and he has a lot of ground to make up now. He could even fall into the clutches of Ken Yachts before the end of this race, but now Spence Thompson back into the lead as we saw him take the lead from Zach on the restart. Ended up losing it. Now he's right back in the lead ahead of Bradley Wilson. So a heck of a battle up here for the lead this whole run. Just want to give a tip of the hat to these guys. For racing clean. We haven't seen any super aggressive or any kind of dirty moves from them at all. It's been a lot of clean and respectful racing for this top spot.
Absolutely, Andrew. I couldn't agree more. That was one heck of a move Spence just made right there. It was super impressive to see him pass on that high side. We haven't seen that all night, and I think that was the only way he was going to get around Bradley, and he knew it, and somehow, some way he made it work, and it's still not over yet, but it's going to be a battle for the end here. Bradley's still going to dig all the way to the end, and I know he wants that win more than anybody.
Yeah, Spence had pulled out to about a 2-car length lead, and Bradley's pulled it back within a car length here. Maybe Bradley's found out a line he could find here to get back around Spence and maybe get a victory here.
Yeah, but let's not get ahead of ourselves here, Tyler. Zach Lindgren actually just got by the number 43 of Craig Lerman. I think Craig pushed up into the fence there that last lap out of turn 2, and looks like now Zach going to be right back in that position to make something happen. If something happens to the leaders, to Spence Thompson and Bradley Wilson, Zach now in that perfect position to capitalize on that effort. And, I mean, currently still Bradley Wilson and Spence Thompson battling and trying to check out on the field, but Zach Lindgren cleared the field. And actually, caution on the Speedway. We're going to have a green-white checkered here when we go back green.
This is going to be interesting.
Looks like we might have 2 laps to go when we finally get the green that comes back out.
Yep, you are correct. I'm interested to see who's going to pit. If it was me, I would pit for sure. What do you guys think? What would you do, 2, 4, or stay out?
I think I would stay out, to be honest with you, because we see late in these races, there's a lot of people that like to try to stay out and maybe not having the kind of night that they want to and kind of a last chance effort. You don't want to come down pit road and get stuck behind a bunch of cars, and you definitely have some fresher tires, but sometimes it's hard to get around all those other cars that are not on fresher tires as you, so it's going to be interesting to see here what they do.
And as we watch that replay of that wreck, it was Derek Robinson in the back, ended up tagging the wall, spinning to the inside, and you know, it's kind of been the story of the night. You get tight, push up into that fence, and there's nothing you can do after that. Actually, we may have some pitting up in the front. They all fake out. They were all going to try. Although Spence Thompson did end up taking out the cone. I don't know if that's going to be a penalty for my race or not. I would imagine not, since he decided to stay out, but we'll have to wait and see. I don't think he'll get a penalty. I don't think that's a thing iRacing does. But they were all faking to try and get the other to try and pit. So the entire top 7 going to stay out, but Kenneth Yance, Blake Falone, Billy Hargrove, Ronald White, and Terry Mason all going to make the trip down the pit lane. And we'll try and see exactly what they're going to do here. Looks like Ken Yance may have taken 2 tires and left. Ronald White may have done the same thing, as Blake Falone going to fall a couple of positions with them making that move. Billy Hargrove, Terry Mason as well.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see on this restart, too, on these older tires. These guys are going to be used to just going flat-footed around 1 and 2. I'm not sure if it'll stick on the restart. It might in 1 and 2, but 3 and 4, they're really going to have to be careful on them older tires. Might get loose like we saw Zach there in turn 1, or could just get really tight and end up in the wall, so they really got to be careful.
Yeah, like you said, Mike, it's definitely going to be difficult for these drivers to put in their mind that we're not on fresh tires on this restart, so they're definitely going to have to be careful, but you never know, this cold cycle might able to get some more grip in the track and maybe hold it flat-footed, but we'll have to see here. Probably going to push and get tight a little bit. It's going to be interesting to see if the bottom is going to be dominant again here on this restart, or if maybe Bradley and Jared could overhaul Spence and Zach on the outside.
Now, did you say it was Ken Yance, first one on tires, Andrew?
Yeah, Ronald White actually is going to be the first one out on tires. I think he took 2, was able to get out ahead of Ken Yance, but I think actually Ken Yance did take 4, but Ronald White on 2 tires, Ken Yance on 4, Terry Mason going to be on 4 as well, and then Blake Falone, Billy Hargrove going to be on 4 tires. They stayed a little bit longer to get some repairs, but I want to mention real quick, we've got kind of a crowd amassing here. This is PSI TV. If you haven't heard of us before, please do check us out if you want. It's definitely appreciated to leave a like on the page. It definitely helps us out, and even leave a rating. That also is kind of the driving force behind PSI TV. We've been doing these races for a couple of months now with All-Star Sim Racing on Thursday nights, and have picked up the end of the season for the NMNTS Racing Series. We'll have the next 2 nights jam-packed with championship action, as we've got Tyler Justice, Mike Bruno in the booth helping me out tonight from SimSpec PC. You guys do a great job over there representing them on and off the track, and definitely want to thank you guys for coming up and joining me tonight.
Thanks for having us, man. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, thanks for having us. It's been a lot of fun, like Mike said.
I'm definitely going to be keeping my eye on the front row here, obviously, but I'm also going to be keeping another eye on Ken Yance, Ronald White, those guys on fresh tires, and see how they run through this pack. If it's one thing on fresh tires to be faster, but you still got to make it around the other guys safely, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, Mike, I'll tell you what, that front row has kind of the advantage, but Ken Yance very well could have the tires to at least get back up into the top 5, as well as Ronald White, Ronald White actually starting up on the top side, so I'd look for Ken Yance to make some advances here. Got a damaged car of DJ Hargrove right in front of him, but I wouldn't take my eyes off of that 85 last restart. We saw the 89 go from third place to the lead right away, so this will be a fun one to watch. Only 2 laps for the rest of this race.
Looks like we're about to go green here. Got a feeling we're going to be seeing some 3 wide going into 1 here. Let's buckle our seatbelts and get ready. This is going to be a fun one.
And as the pace car gets ready to make that sharp turn down into the pit lane, Spence Thompson going to get up on the wheel, get ready to restart and try and get rid of the guys behind him. Bradley Wilson to his outside. Those guys are teammates. And another teammate in Zach Lindgren right behind him. Spence Thompson up on the gas, gets going. Zach going to try and get to the inside of Bradley Wilson. Not going to make it work. Bradley Wilson going to fill that second spot. And now it's all on Bradley Wilson to try and make something happen and get by that number 89. Only 2 laps to go. Green and white checkered. And these guys are off and away. In the back, Ken Yance making some moves, taking 3 wide. We've got a wreck in the back. Actually, it's going to be Ronald White wrecking on the bottom of the track. No caution just yet. I think iRacing is going to let this one pan out as Spence Thompson's still leading the way. I don't think Bradley Wilson's going to be able to touch him. These guys are on older tires. I don't think they can do anything about it. Ken Yance up into the 6th position looking for 5th. Bradley Wilson trying to find a way around Spence Thompson.
Yeah, Bradley pushing way off and actually hits the wall coming off turn 2, and Jared Beasley coming out for 2nd here. Tough break for Bradley hitting the wall.
Yeah, and they're going to fan out underneath, and Spence Thompson get a motor away to a win. Zach Lindgren trying to race with Jared Beasley. Jared Beasley real quick going to steal 2nd place away from Zach Lindgren as they're going to drag race to the line, but it's going to be Spence Thompson taking the win. Zach Lindgren in 3rd place, Jared Beasley in 2nd. We'll have to look back at where Bradley Wilson came across the line. It looks like he's going to come across 6th, Mike, rather. Sorry.
Yeah, for sure. Congratulations to Spence there on the win. Tough luck for Bradley, man. I really was pulling for him, but he gave it his all tonight, and can't shake your head at that one, man. He did a great job tonight. That's just racing sometimes, you know. You win some, you lose some, but once again, congrats to Spence.
Yeah, that was just a product of Bradley doing everything you could try to do to get an edge on Spence there, maybe get to his back bumper and get him loosen up the track a little bit, but he just couldn't get there and pushed up off the track off of turn 2 and got into the wall there.
And we're going to take a look back at that finish real quick. There was a lot going on, a lot to try and keep track of, so we're going to go back and watch Bradley Wilson on the final lap, following behind Spence Thompson going through turns 1 and 2. We'll have to wait and see exactly what happens. I think he just got tight in that dirty air trying to find a way around Spence. And he does, pushes up into that outside wall. Jared Beasley fans down below him. And after that, it's just kind of a melee. Ken Yance barely skirts by the number 66, Bradley Wilson. At this point, he's kind of just along for the ride. A very damaged race car as Terry Mason's going to end up taking 5th place in a drag race to the line. I think there may have been a bit of a bump from Terry to the 66 unintentionally to try and take that 5th spot away. But Terry Mason, in the final race of the season, your champion, clinched as of last week, will end up finishing 5th place and just kind of bolstering why he ended up getting that championship.
Yeah, I mean, since Terry locked up that championship last week, we almost forgot about him there with Spence winning this race, but can't forget about Terry. He did an awesome job all season to lock up the championship, even a race before the final race of the season, so that's pretty impressive on his part, and he definitely had a good season.
Yeah, he really did. I just want to say congrats to him also. He just ran a great season, super consistent. Just that's the way you got to do it sometimes, you know, just stay up front and finish the races. That's really the key.
With that race in the books, that's our final event for the NMNTS ARCA series, but we've still got quite a plethora of drivers to speak with here. First off, we're going to bring in 3rd place finisher Zach Lindgren, and Mike, I'll let you take this one away.
Zach Lindgren, this is Mike Bruno up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you guys. Go ahead.
Zach, you did a great job tonight, man. It was awesome watching you. I really thought you had a shot there at the end. Is there anything you could have done different to maybe get out front and get that W?
On that last restart, felt like I could have stayed with Spence a little bit better. I feel like if I did, I would have kept Bradley on the outside and had a good enough run to get to Spence's inside. But it's the way that things go. My connection to the server started to act up a little bit, and it started to interfere with the other cars and some other drivers. So I tried to back out of it as best as I could while staying with them. But yeah, all in all, it was a really good race. We got out front, led laps, passed some really good drivers, some really hard drivers to pass. But I felt like if I would have been able to stay with Spence right there at the end of it and had a good enough run to get Spence on the outside, I felt like that was our winning move.
Yeah, for sure, man. You did an awesome job tonight, man. I just want to say congrats on the third place finish, man. It was great race, and hopefully see you next year, and we'll be running with each other once again, man. Great job again tonight.
Heck yeah. Man, it was really fun tonight. Congrats to Terry for pulling off the championship. I know he clinched it last week, but it's good to see him take it home tonight. But yeah, all in all, it was just a great season, and I look forward to racing you guys again next year.
10-4, bud.
And next up, Tyler, I'm going to bring in your teammate, actually, Jared Beasley, for the second place interview.
Jared Beasley, this is Tyler Justice up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, Tyler.
Well, Jared, you started on pole, definitely where you wanted to be at there. Led a bunch of laps early in the race. That final restart there with 2 to go, looks like you shook out fourth getting into turn 1 on the low line, but with just 2 laps to go there, it was kind of hard to get up there and contend with those guys with it being such a big track and a lot of grip. Is there anything you could have done differently there to maybe get by?
I am just terrible on restarts. I suck at restarts so bad, but it was a really good car all race. It's just the outsides were killing me. Starting on the outsides, were very bad, me at least. But I think I was gonna get a run on Zach coming out of on the backstretch. Even if Bradley didn't hit the wall. So I was thinking I was going to get a top 3 there. But all around, it was really good racing.
Yeah, well, you can't hang your hat too much. You started on pole, got you a good finishing position of second there. Definitely a good race overall by you. And you got anybody out there you want to thank?
I want to thank JB Paints, Extreme Lawn Care for the car. Got to thank Andrew and everybody for putting on the broadcast. Bradley for putting up the servers, having a place to race. My teammates over at MR Motorsports, great group of guys.
Well, all right, Jared, good race by you, finishing in second position. Good way to cap off the season here in the ARCA series. Congratulations, and we'll see you next time.
All right.
And again, that was second place finishing Jared Beasley, as we're now going to bring up Bradley Wilson. If he's there, Bradley Wilson, this is Andrew in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, Bradley, you were leading the charge there on that last restart to try and get around Spence Thompson. You led a lot of the race, definitely had control of the first half of this event, and just ended up getting tied out of turn 2, I guess. Tell us what happened there.
Yeah, we just got under Spence there, and we were really pushing it. And I knew we were going to be a little tight on the tires, but I didn't take into full account of that aero tight. And when I got to the back bumper, it just wasn't much we could do with it. It shoved the nose, and we just along for the ride at that point. We tried to keep it in the wall and out of the racing surface, try not to collect anybody else.
For sure. Well, Bradley, it's nothing to be ashamed of. Come out here not racing for points, end up finishing 6th even after dominating the race, having the best chance to get Spence Thompson there. Nobody could do it, and if anyone was going to do it, it was probably going to be you. Let's be honest here. So definitely a good run by you. And is there anyone else that you want to thank out there?
Oh yeah, I'd like to thank my beautiful wife for allowing me to do the thing that I do and love to do, put this league on week in, week out for everybody. Thank WFO teammates, Zach and Spence, man. They had strong cars all night. It was pretty good to see us all. Pretty makes me happy as a car owner to see us all three running up front there, nose to tail for a big majority of it. Not the outcome we would have really liked to have seen, but you know, it's once again it's another fast car, led some laps. Just keep confidence building and keep moving forward for 2018.
All right. Well, thank you for coming up after the race and sharing your time with us, and we'll let you get back down there with your team and go over this race.
All right, Andrew. I sure appreciate it, man.
And that was sixth place finishing Bradley Wilson. Brought him up to talk about that ending there, and I'll let one of you guys take over. Spence Thompson. Just leave it to you guys to pick, actually.
Spence Thompson, this is Mike Bruno up in the booth. You got a copy, bud?
Yes, sir, Mike. How you doing?
Not too bad, man. Hey, big congratulations on the win tonight, man. It was really awesome seeing you guys run tonight. You did a great job. All you guys did. It was really cool to watch. How do you feel about tonight's race? Do you feel like you ran well? You feel like there was anything different you could have done? I mean, I know you got the W, but you really were the class of the field there at the end. I don't think anybody had anything for it. It looked like Bradley got to your bumper and maybe he had something for you, but you were just able to stay out front, man. It was really cool to watch.
Yeah, absolutely, man. The car at the end of the race was just like how we needed it to be. Wanted to make sure that we saved a little bit of tires because it was going to be easy to kind of wear out the tires tonight with how hard you could drive the car and stuff, and then be able to full throttle it for a good 12, 13 laps or so. But we wanted to make sure that we were able to save a little bit of tire there for the end of the race to try to make sure we could fend off any runs that people would get. And yeah, Brad was talking to me with me in the team radio that he tried to, he laid the bumper to me and stuff if he got up to me, and then Zach as well. But I'd expect it. Because he's hungry for a win, we're all hungry for it, and this '89 team was able to pull it off tonight, so we're excited about that. Happy to get a win on the final race of the season for the ARCA cars, and couldn't be happy with these guys, man. They just did a great job all night long. The car handled just fantastic. We missed turn 1 and 2 during one of the early part of the runs where we actually saved the right side of the car there from getting badly damaged at one point, but we're definitely happy about this, man.
Yeah, bud, you definitely played your cards right tonight, and it shows for you. Came out with a win. Is there anybody you want to thank?
Well, definitely, man. Just first, got to give a good shout out to all you guys up in the booth tonight. You guys did an awesome job up there in the booth calling the race tonight. Got to thank all these guys on this number 89 American Revolutionary Clothing team, all the guys at WFO Motorsports, all my teammates. Big thank you to Bradley Wilson for an awesome league that he runs all season, man. He does a good job, and sometimes I think it goes underappreciated, but he definitely does a great job with this thing. Can't thank him enough for being my team owner as well. Big shout out to him as well, man. He had a good run at the end. It definitely sucks that he ended up how he did there at the end. Big shout out to Zach Lindgren on the P3 there, and big congratulations to Terry Mason on the championship as well.
Yeah, for sure, bud. It was great watching you win or race tonight, man, and congrats again on the win.
Appreciate it, Mike. Thank you.
And real quick, before we close the show down, going to bring in champion Terry Mason. Terry Mason, this is Andrew in the booth. Jeff, copy.
Loud and clear. How you doing, Andrew?
Well, Terry, that's a wrap on the season. You did a heck of a job all season long to play Mr. Consistent, and what do you know, in a championship format that favors just that, you end up walking away a champion. We knew you would after last week at South Boston Speedway, but just tell us about how you managed to bring home a 5th place here tonight.
Your luck. I was just riding around, just kind of seeing what would happen. Not a whole lot of caution, so figured saving tires would probably be what would pay off, and then we had that caution with about 5 to go. I knew we would have a little shootout, so I was the tail end of the lead lap car, so it didn't hurt for me to come in, grab some tires, and see what would happen in the last 2 laps.
Yeah, it looked like earlier on you had a pretty close call there with an early wreck, and then you kind of just waited in the back for your perfect chance. Ended up just barely edging out Bradley Wilson coming to the line to take 5th place, and just want to once more congratulate you on one heck of a season here in 2017 in the NMNTS Disabled Military Veterans ARCA Series. Taking home the championship in that number 75 Riot Racing Chevrolet. Certainly a heck of a job to you. It was a lot of fun racing with you all season long, and you know, definitely believe you deserve this championship. Is there anyone you want to thank?
Oh yeah, I definitely got to thank Joseph, best car owner you can drive for, and wish he was here, but he's out, fighting for our country. So big props to him, and definitely, thanks to Bradley Wilson. He, like Spence was saying, he runs an awesome league, and he deserves a lot of credit for what he does. And all my teammates, Spence, Zach, Robbie Buckner, best teammates you can have.
Yeah, Terry. Congrats on the championship, man. It's really impressive to do it before you even get to the last race of the season and lock it up already, and cap it off with a 5th place finish here at Texas. Got to be a good feeling for you, and just wanted to congrats you on the championship there. You did a great job all season, man.
Oh, thank you very much, Tyler.
Yeah, same here, Tyler. Or Terry, you did a great job all season, man. You've definitely been the king of consistency, like Andrew said, and it was great racing with you, man, and I look forward to 2018.
Oh, it's going to be a blast. Thanks to all you guys for the awesome job that you do up here in the booth.
No problem.
Thanks,
Thank
bud.
you.
Well, thank you, Terry, for kind of making it possible in a way. You and everyone else on that track put on a hell of a show tonight. Definitely a lot of fun to watch, and I think these other two guys with me can do nothing but echo that. It was definitely a very fun race, like I said, to watch all 100 laps of it. And congratulations to you on taking home 5th place and ultimately the championship. And tell you what, it's the end of the season. It's been a long road since New Smyrna in February, or well, Daytona and then New Smyrna in February. I remember that relatively vividly.
Been a long year.
Yeah, Corey Walters, if you're still watching, I apologize to you once again. That's the one thing about New Smyrna that I actually remember is running him over, and Robbie Buckner hitting everything out there in that race. So I'll tell you what, it's been one heck of a season. And, when it comes to all three of you guys, it's been a lot of fun racing with you. My season ended last Monday at Phoenix. I'll be broadcasting the rest of this week, but it's been one heck of a ride.
It's been a great ride.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. This is the best league I've ever been a part of, and I'm totally looking forward to next season, man.
Well, Terry, I guess this is where we'll let you go, man. Once more, congratulations on a heck of a championship with Riot Racing and WFL Motorsports supplying those cars for you guys over there. Be looking forward to 2018. We'll see exactly what role PSI TV plays in next season. Don't really know just yet, but we'll be in the talks of figuring something out. I believe we'll have at least one night of action, whether it be Super Late Models or IndyCar next season here on PSI TV. So make sure everyone to look out for that. And we still have 2 more races this week. We're going to have tomorrow night's Truck Series finale from Homestead Miami Speedway, followed by Tuesday night's Grand National finale at Homestead Miami Speedway. And Tyler Justice, Mike Bruno will be playing a role in those 2 races as they battle for the Truck and Grand National Series championships. Well, at least Tyler will be. Mike, unfortunately, didn't make the Final 4 for the Grand National chase, so it's going to be a lot of fun. But Terry, I believe we're going to have you up here on Tuesday.
Yeah, I'll definitely be up here with you. Help you out here Tuesday.
And with that, I think we're going to close up shop for the night. Want to thank everyone for tuning in. Been one heck of a show here on PSI TV tonight. And just want to once more thank everyone that goes into these broadcasts: Inspect PC Towers, Pit Stop Insider, TN Designs, Oliver Mobile Fleet Repair, Scott Brotherton Images, Hambrick Auto, Bob's Small Engine Auto Repair, everyone that goes into these races, NMNTS, All-Star Sim Racing. Y'all do one heck of a job, whatever it is you do in supporting PSI TV. It's been a pleasure. This has been PSI TV. Everyone have a great night.